What's going on, YouTube? Here I am again, rdapdan, your friendly prison consultant. Today we're actually going to talk a little bit about prison consultants. After speaking to a gentleman that posted on here, getting ready to go to prison, John Grosso, he got sentenced to 24 months in Butner. Butner is a prison camp. Pretty sweet place. He shouldn't have any problems there. But been talking to John a little bit back and forth. Spoke to him on the phone a couple times, and he's pretty concerned with the prison consultants that he's spoken with and the vibe he got from them prior to reaching out and talking to me, watching my videos and whatnot. So I think we should talk a little bit about prison consultants and what you can expect from them. But first, I'm starving, and this is not how I got into prison shape. So before we continue, I need to eat my food real quick. And yeah, you guessed it, Mickey D's double quarter pounder with cheese, McDonald's large fry, and wash it all down with a nice cold Coca-Cola. McDonald's don't sue me for posting this video. So as soon as I finish eating, we'll continue our topic on prison consultants. Good thing or bad thing? Gotta say thank you to my beautiful girlfriend. She picked this up and dropped it off for me. I love you, babe. Mm. Well, now that we wasted 10 minutes with me eating McDonald's and bragging about how good it is, we can start the video now. Prison consulting, a good thing or a bad thing? Obviously, the idea of it and its intended purpose can be a really good thing. But from what I'm seeing on the internet, is it's being used to just come after where you're afraid and target your wallet. For somebody to charge you several $1,000s to consult you on going into prison, unless you have a real unique situation and your attorney says, hey, we're going to hire a prison consultant to consult us to some necessary steps you can take to minimize your time in prison. You don't want to hire a consultant to give you peace of mind, because they're not. They're going to take your money and they're going to do very little for you for the most part. I'm not going to say there's no good consultants out there, because I can't say that for a fact that there is or there is not. But I can tell you from what I have seen and from the stories that I've heard, it's a bunch of tell you everything you want to hear and a bunch of fluff about how they can get you into all these different programs, and they can get you the Second Chance Act, they can get you into Rdap. If they can get you into Rdap and they can get you into the Second Chance Act, then you can get into it. There's nothing that they're really going to be able to do other than maybe guide you in what to say before the day you take your plea or you're found guilty. That day when you go speak to probation, when they do your PSR, your pre-sentencing report, it all comes down to that day. Whatever you tell probation is pretty much what's going to be written in stone. That's going to follow you into prison, on what they're going to base all of your programs on what you can and what you cannot qualify for. It's not rocket science. It might feel like it is right now because you're overwhelmed and you're looking for somebody to make you feel better, and that's what these guys are preying upon, is your unsurety of everything. So what I recommend, before you go give all of your money to the prison consultant, thousands of dollars to the prison consultant to tell you if he can get you an Rdap, give you all of these. And then at the end of the day, when you ask them, is it guaranteed? The answer is probably always going to be no, nothing's guaranteed. It's because they're just giving you some basic information. It might be useful, but it's not thousands of dollars worth. Why thousands of dollars for some free information just because he went through prison and he sounds like an expert? Come see Dan. Come see Rdap Dan. It's not going to cost you anything. And if there is some time that we need to spend together and you're about to go give that guy thousands of dollars, if you just need a telephone call or you need some email, it's not going to cost you anything. You want to get a pre-sentencing report ahead of time before you actually take your plea or you're found guilty, and you want to kind of see where it's going to fall at to see what maybe we could do to help you get a better pre-sentencing report, because your pre-sentencing report is what they do at the time of you taking your plea or the time that you're found guilty. They do that, and that goes to the judge, and then later on when you come back to court for your sentencing, the PSR, the pre-sentencing report, is the judge takes that into consideration for what he's going to sentence you to. Probation is going to recommend to the judge how much time they think you should get. So we can do a PSR for you, a pre-sentencing report ahead of time, so you can get an idea of what the judge is going to be seeing before you do the actual one. It's not going to be exactly the same as the actual one, but it allows us to make some necessary changes. And then when you actually get your PSR, you can go to your attorney and you can say, hey, these are the things that I want to talk about. Because you have, I think it's 20 days. I don't remember the actual time frame, but once you get your PSR, you have a certain amount of time to review it with your attorney to make any modified changes that you want to make before it goes to the judge. So that's stuff that we can help you with, or I can help you with, and I can point you in the right direction of actual professionals that aren't going to take you for an arm and a leg. You know, the biggest thing is what to expect going into prison. You want to know about commissary. You want to know about where you're going to go. Is it dangerous? Were you watching TV? Did you watch an episode of Oz last night on HBO and freaked you out because you see all these murders and rape and everything else going on? Is it like Locked Up? You know, or is it like Orange is the New Black? Depending where you're going. If you're going to a camp or a low, Orange is the New Black is pretty comparable to where the reality is of what you're going to be looking at. Real low security, real laid back, no politics, hang out with whoever you want to hang out with. You don't have to worry about getting in fights. You don't have to worry about getting beat up. You don't have to worry about getting raped. You don't have to hide your food. You know, all of these different things that you may be concerned about. It's not going to be an issue if you're going to a camp or a low. Even some mediums shouldn't be an issue. Now, if you're going to some of the more severe mediums, if you're going to the penitentiary, that's a different situation. There, you need to be real concerned. You need to be real concerned about what kind of plea you're taking. If you're going to be going to anything above a low, medium, the pen, any of that stuff, you know, and you're taking a plea, like a 5K1, means you're telling on other people, acceptance of responsibility, you know, anything that shows that you told on somebody else to help yourself out could cause you problems at a medium or above. People look down on that. That's where the gangs hang out. That's where politics are in play. If you are a snitch, they're going to tell you got to go check in, which means you got to go spend your time in the shoe, get off the compound. If you're a child molester, you got to get off the compound, go get in the shoe. You know, you got to go, basically, you're going to be in protective custody. But for the majority of the people that I've spoken to that are going to a low security, a camp, a low, even some mediums, don't stress too much about where you're going. Look, the living quarters suck. You're going to be sleeping in a bunk bed or a single bunk, but it's not, you know, no special mattresses. You've got little foam mattresses on a spring bed or some tray beds, which are just metal frame beds. 2 to 3 mans in a cube. You might have private cells where you got 2 to 3 men in a cell. Chances are you're not going to have your private room. Commissaries once a week. You can shower as much as you want. You can buy all the hygiene product you want. You can get almost everything that you can get on the street. You can get in prison within reason. There's no need to freak out. If you feel like you need to talk to somebody and you feel like somebody told you talk to a prison consultant, think about why you're going to talk to a prison consultant and think about what you want to get out of that conversation. Is it worth $3,000 to $5,000? Most of the time, I don't think your answer is going to be yes. I suggest you reach out to me and let's see what we can discuss and what we can find out for you at no cost at all. everybody that I've spoken to so far has all told me the same thing. They're glad that they reached out and they found my videos. Most people are finding them to be informative, somewhat comforting as to getting ready to go into prison. It's helping family members ease through the process of seeing their loved one go into prison, because it's just as hard on your family as it is yourself. They're worried about you getting hurt, you being in danger, where you're going to be, how safe is the environment. So seeing these videos of the reality of somebody that's actually been there and not trying to take you for a ride and take all your money, what's the harm? So reach out to me, rdapdan. My email and everything is posted on here. You got ways to contact me. I don't mind giving you guys my phone number. I'm not going to post my phone number on there yet. I might get a separate phone just for that. But right now, I am not a consultant. I'm just rdapdan. But I see that a lot of people are reaching out to consultants, and it's kind of heartbreaking to see how many people just need help and need an ear to listen to and need some positive reinforcement from people that have been through it. That's the toughest thing about this, is you just don't know what to expect. You're walking into the unknown. It's like once you open that door, in your mind, it's just a big giant black room, dark. You can't even imagine what it looks like. And that's what's fucking killing you, is the unknown. I can tell you right now, and I've said it to everybody I've spoken to, what you're going through this moment, unless you're going to a pen, if you're going to any type of low security prison, what you're going through this moment is absolutely as hard as it's going to get. It is going to day by day get easier the minute you step foot on the compound. If you're in a camp, don't fuck up and play with the cell phone, because that's going to get you booted out of the camp. It's going to put you in a low. Still low security, but in the camp, it's sweet. There's usually no fence. You're community custody, which means you can go out in the community. They might have a job where you're doing landscaping on a golf course. You see real people. You get to eat the best food. You can't beat that situation. If you start fucking around with a cell phone in there, because everyone's going to have cell phones in a camp, and you start messing around with the cell phone, you're going to get booted out of the camp. You're going to go to a low. You're going to be surrounded by a fence. No more leaving. No more community custody. Your points just went up. Could mess up how much time you're going to get for halfway house later on. It could mess up programming you're trying to do. Just keep your head screwed on tight and straight. Think about your priorities, your family, your friends, what you want to do when you get out. Have some short-term goals, have some long-term goals. Don't just think you're going to get out and everything's going to be perfect. You got to put some things into place that's going to help your long-term goals. Communication is key. Reach out to your family, send them daily emails, call them as much as you can, whatever you can afford to do. Obviously, money is going to be an issue, commissary, but any questions you have about how that works, True Links, how you get your MP3 player, how you charge your MP3 player, how you get money into your account, how you can get a cheaper phone service while you're in there, meaning the payphone. Long distance call costs about $3.15 for every 15 minutes. There's phone services you can use out there like Phone Donkey. Yes, Phone Donkey, like the animal, phonedonkey.com, or Google Voice. You can get a local number to the prison, have that forward to your loved one's phone, whoever's phone you're going to be using. Instead of $3.15 for 15 minutes, and it's costing about 90 cents for 15 minutes. So a lot of things like that. How to get pictures of your family in there, what kind of pictures you're allowed to get, what kind of books can you get, what kind of mail can you get. All of these general questions that you either have now or you're going to have when you get in there. Even your family can reach out to me once you're already in there, questions that they got. You can add me to your TrueLinks account, my email, dwise1127@gmail.com, dwise1127@gmail.com, and you can email me from prison, and I can still communicate with you and give you some advice or some insight as to how to make your day a little easier and less stressful. So with that said, I'm going to wrap up the video. I enjoyed my McDonald's. I'm glad you guys got to enjoy it with me. For those of you heading off to prison soon, it's not going to be that bad. If you got under 5 years, it's going to be a walk in the park. You're going to be out before you know it. If you get over 5 years, start thinking about right now how to program and get your way through it, and how to make it as easy as possible on your family. It's not all about you. With that said, Rdap Dan, the unofficial prison consultant, signing off. Take care, guys.